We're Stephen and Mags, and together with our 3 kids, Louis, Neve and Oliver, we're starting out on the biggest adventure of our lives, swapping city life for an off-grid homestead. After years of dreaming about making a change, we sold our house in the UK, packed up all our belongings and made the 1,500-mile trip to southern Spain, with the hopes of creating the dream family home and a new life in the sun. Follow our story from the very beginning as we begin the journey of creating our off-grid home. Hola everyone, buenos dias. Welcome back to the homestead. It is definitely not a sunny Spain behind us. As you can see, we've had the weather change and we've even had our first frost. So we got up to take the kids to school the other morning and there was frost all over the car. So the weather has definitely changed here. However, we are still outside, even in jumpers, and we're carrying on working. And this week we're going to be working on some of the trees and bushes that we've got around the property. Here's Mags, working on the first one. Tell us what you're doing, Mags.
So I'm just working on, or we're going to be working on, taming the grapevines down. So we've started cutting it back, and it hasn't been cut back for the last few years. So it needs a really hard cut back really, but we need to select through the branches before we cut them, so as we can train them along the little wires for, you know, the next
year's
season.
crop.
Yeah, the next season. So we're going to do that today, and then see how far we get with that, and then later on in our plan we're going to start doing the orange trees as well,
which you can see. So we've got orange trees there, Nispero tree, which is humongous. Is that an apple tree there, Max? That one?
I don't know.
I'm sure that's an apple tree. We've got an apple tree and yeah, this is, yeah, so there's the last of the apples that were on there. That's an apple tree, and then we've got a really sad looking apple tree. There's still a few live branches in there, but the rest of the tree I think is pretty diseased. And then more orange trees at the back there. There wasn't a great harvest on them this year because the people that lived here previously didn't prune them. So we're going to try and do it and see if we can get more than like this one lonely tiny orange for next year if we're still here. But for now, we're going to crack on with this, aren't we, Mags?
Yeah.
Mags taking the big chop, look.
I've had to go in for the big guns, never mind the little secateurs.
Yeah. So when you're pruning grapevines, what you want to do is cut back any new growth. You want to cut out the old dead wood, and there's plenty on this. And then select a good branch to train along for next year. So that's what we're trying to do. So then hopefully this was just all full of that. And hopefully we'll have a couple of clean branches growing across there. And we can train some of these back by selecting the best ones out, and it won't end up like a big jumble like it is now.
Well, I like puzzles, but this is taking the mick. Intertwined in every way.
See that got a knot on all the way up it, so that branch needs to come off. That one needs to come off because it's just dead wood all the way up. Honestly, that took much longer than I thought it was going to take, but we've managed to do it. You can see from here we've cut out most of the vines that were coming out from the main stem. So having done some research, you need to leave 2 or 3 good vines that come out from the main stem so that you produce more fruit for next year. So out of the top one, we've picked 2. I'm not sure whether this one will survive anyway, so we'll see if it does. If not, we've got one coming this way. And we're trying to train them back up. None of them are trained along the wire trellis that's here. So eventually we'll train this to go down. It's just a bit stiff to do now. We've got 2 different ones coming out there. And then on here you can probably see more what I mean by we're trying to train them to go out. So you can get them picking a new-ish stem coming out. Some of the old parts are completely dead like this. It's completely dry. So it will remain to be seen whether something grows out of it. But for now, we've done the same all the way along the fence. I can't believe how much stuff it's produced for me. You can see right the way along. So that all needs to go in the compost pile. Some of the bigger branches will go in the burn pile. But yeah, you can see most of them are now trained against the fence or tied up with garden ties. So we need to get all that in the compost bin, but we also need to prune these as well. So in terms of pruning fruit trees, you need to be able to take out a lot of the ones from in the middle of it, like these, that block the sun getting to the middle of the tree, because a lot of the fruit tends to come on the top of the tree up there, and no sun gets to the middle, so you end up with a bare tree at the bottom and no fruit. And again, these have just been left for some time. I mean, you can see by this, these are called suckers, the bit that come up the middle bit. They suck the life out the tree. There's not so much around the base of these, but there's definitely loads that have just been left to grow. So I'm going to try and thin them out so that the sun can get through into the tree and hopefully produce more fruit. Now these did have some fruit on them this year, very little fruit. So we had maybe 6 or 7 that grew on this one, and then on this one again 6 or 7, similar size to this. But none of them were very good. So they all came out with defects or swelled really quickly and then fell on the floor. So there's them, the apple tree to do, and then 2 more orange trees down here. They're tangerine trees, and then these orange trees at the back. And again, they've just been left to let the big massive pieces, straight pieces, grow up in the middle and not actually amongst the tree. You can see when they've been pruned before. This has got 2 oranges that we're hanging on to. Decent sized oranges, look at that. Hopefully it'll be ripe enough soon to pick. But there's only 2, and that's all that grew on it. So hopefully pruning them will help the tree a little bit, be able to produce more fruit. We'll see. Onto it. that's the first orange tree, well, tangerine tree done. Hopefully you can see the difference now in there. You can see right the way through the tree, the sun should be able to get to every part of the tree, and all the suckers that were in there before, basically all the ones that were growing straight up from a branch have all been chopped off. So now the air can get through, there's good airflow through it, and the sun can get all the way through. Now, it's time to go on to the next one. Neve's just come home from school, look how excited Diego is to see her.
So this is our last tree. It's taken longer than we thought, actually.
A lot longer.
Steve near cut his finger off in the process again. He's an accident waiting to happen this day. So that's it, we finished pruning the tree, and we're just gonna pick our only 2 good, we hope, oranges off it. Oh God. Yeah. And then that's it.
We thought this would go much quicker than it's going. It took us pretty much all afternoon to get it done, but we're now just cleaning up all the piles and then getting them ready in a burning pile or big bonfire. So more to do. Before the light goes, we're going to stop filming so that you can still see us, but we're going to carry on and try and see if we can get the rest of the piles put on top of the bonfire, and then we'll pick it up tomorrow. Well, I'm not quite sure what happened to the sound on this clip, but there is no sound when we come to editing. This little bit was basically me saying that we got in late the night before because we'd been to the Noche de la Luz event, which is the turning on of the Christmas lights in the town. There was a big fiesta and a parade in town, which was really great, and we really enjoyed it. And here I'm just explaining the fact that we've got other jobs we're going to crack on with today, and one of them is to put together this wooden outdoor dining table set that we've had delivered from England, which is one of the items that we've been waiting on. It's being delivered, and me and Ollie are going to crack on trying to put it together, repairing some of the things that got damaged during transit, and that we've got a few other things to work on too. Mags is going to get to planting some vegetables out in the vegetable garden, and also putting some shelves together, which were on the end just then. So we crack on with the rest of the jobs for today. Grab it underneath. 1, 2, 3.
There we go.
Marvellous.
Very stable.
Yep.
That right?
Yeah, on. Pull it back up. There we go.
Oh, this is fun.
Going to the end one. Press the button back up. You can go a little bit faster than that, but not too much faster. Over a bit more. If you go too close to the edge, it'll snap off. Okay. About the 3. There. Press it in the back out.
So basically, keep it like so you've got it the right position. So put your hand over there a little bit, not too much, and that's where you push down. So yeah, a little bit by little bit. Just want it a little bit under the surface.
Push hard. Good job, well done. So, making some progress. What I didn't realise when I started putting them together is that actually, because the furniture was handmade in England, all these holes for each one of the bolts that went through were all individually drilled. So you can't just pick a piece up and put it together. You have to match each chair with each leg, with each back and each hole to try and do it. So because I've got no patience, and you know this by now, I called Mags out and she coming out, we didn't you?
Yeah, I saved the day, let's face it.
Yeah, Mags saved the day.
And the
So,
furniture haven't painted out the holes.
yeah, and the furniture having more holes than it needed, because what I was taken to was, it doesn't fit, so let's drill an extra hole. And then Mags went on, so what do you do when you can't do that? You have to match them all up. So we took them apart again and matched them up. But you can see we've got the 2 benches up, we've got the table up and one of the chairs. We've got one more chair to go. However, we're now in a debate, me and Mags, as you can see me reflection there, we're in a debate. So whether to have a seating area there with a parasol and whatnot, or to move what's already here, the chairs and stuff, and fit it in there. I think it'd be too tight if we put it in there. And we've got the hose that comes out of there, so there's always water on the floor, and because of the wood I'm a bit worried. But it's either wood or termites, one or the other, isn't it? Or to put it there. So let us know what you think, whether we should have a seating area by where the vegetables are growing and the flowers, or over by the door so it's easier to get to. But for now, I'm going to crack on and see if I can't finish bolting this last one together, making the last chair, and then deciding on where we're going to put it. Apologies for the wind noise first of all. It's getting much windier and the weather is starting to turn. So this is what December's like in Spain. You can be sunny and in a t-shirt, and then the next minute the weather changes. However, it's done. So I think it looks quite nice there. Max is still not sure. She still thinks it'll look better over by the door. But let us know what you think. Should we leave it there or should we move it? It's done, it's up, it's sturdy. We have to put some extra screws along here where they'd lifted the little nails that were in it had lifted. But other than that, it's done. And the solar lights that we had in England are still attached for some reason. So clips on just there. So they might charge up and we'll have a little bit of light tonight as well. But for now, that's another job done.
So that's where we're going to leave it for this week. We haven't got to plant our veg house, but we will get to do it and we'll give you a little update. Thanks very much for all the likes and subscribes and the comments. We love reading them all, and we'll see you on the next one. Hasta luego.